Hey, deserving listeners, Love is Blind, Season 5. Let's check it out.
A lot of makeup. I had makeup all over my jacket.
JB, I feel like I'm done tonight. Nope. Nope.
Hey, come here.
Nope.
Okay, yeah, good for her. Makeup all over his jacket. Yeah, maybe there was some makeup on your jacket. Have you never hugged someone that had makeup on before? That happens. That's not the end of the world. And even if that were true, even if she was just drenched in makeup and it got all over you. So you're telling us and her that you're willing to completely throw away an engagement. You're just going to become hyper-focused on that one thing. Well, so we'll add that to the list too, just some sort of actual OCD or some sort of obsession about makeup. That, there are folks that will have that. He doesn't look like that because it would present differently. It would present as more of a desperation than this judgmental way that he's talking about it.
I didn't mean to...
Nope.
And then she gets up and walks away, which she could have done days ago. And he's like, no, I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to what? So then you're thinking, so you thought this conversation was going to go over well? You thought she'd be like, oh, I'm sorry that I wore makeup like a regular human.
You didn't even know what I looked like, okay? And I wanted to feel and look my best for the first time seeing you. Women put on makeup because they want to feel pretty. A lot of girls and women do that.
Yeah. Everything she's saying is right down the middle. Reasonable, but kind of feels like she's explaining to an alien from outer space how women are in the United States. It's like, do you understand that I'm not alone, right? You understand that women wear makeup? You understand that not all women, but a lot do? Is that foreign to you?
Like, when I first saw you and you had all this stuff on, I was like, well, is this going to be like an everyday thing? Like, I'm going to have to deal with this. Like, you putting on a face. Like, you're literally putting on a totally different face.
Okay. Again, I keep saying, if you have a preference, pal, just live with it and state it. But to draw conclusions and to tank your engagement because of it silently, mind you, for the past 4 days, he's been silently... I thought he would divert to a different topic because I thought this thing, I was thinking he was just grasping at straws, but it sounds like this is actually at the foundation, pun. So he is saying, it sounds like he's saying you're putting on a face, which I think is him possibly saying you're being fake. And he said that earlier as well, but that it's much bigger than that he can't trust her or that she's nefarious because what is she hiding? What do you think she's hiding? And yeah, I wish I could just ask him, so you're an incel, right? Or something, or you spend a lot of time in the manosphere. What sort of subreddits are you subscribed to? Just like to know. Now, I don't know. I could be completely wrong about all that. It just could be something else. You can have his preference, but what?
That's not really what I want. I want this face.
You didn't know this face before, though.
But now I know.
Okay. I've worn makeup in front of you one time, which was the reveal.
Yeah, I totally understand where Taylor is coming from right now. On one hand, there's a part of me that kind of wishes that they would somehow work this out, but I don't know if it's possible given what we've seen from him. As a therapist, if I were working with them, I wouldn't care either way. I would just work with what they wanted to do. But as a civilian, I kind of am glad that she's drawing a line here because he did say something that was in the direction of nice by saying that she has a pretty face without makeup. And given the music cue, I was like, oh no, this is as a civilian, that she would say, oh, well, why didn't you just say so? And I was worried that I'd be like, no, Taylor, don't forget. Okay, he said something nice, and sure, now I guess you know that he doesn't want you to wear makeup, and maybe you're willing to accommodate that. But that ignores the larger picture here, and she is not ignoring the larger picture, which is this. Okay, fine. But all the other things that have happened, the fact that you have been talking to me for 4 days because I wore makeup, what? The fact that you call it a caked on face, like you don't understand. The fact you have makeup all over your jacket. The fact that you even word it this way, because even if you had that preference, how about a little, I don't know, grace here of just like you care, like you would think you would exhibit more care and compassion as you deliver such a thing, some concern about my feelings or concern about our engagement. There's been none of that. It's just you basically saying that you've been rejecting me for 4 days because I wore makeup and apparently I'm fake and disgusting to you. What?
And that's what started the whole awkwardness.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's something very satisfying when the cast has a very similar reaction as I am having, that he just says that thing one more time, and you hear it. So, you've had this onslaught of that statement over and over again, whether it was makeup or whatever, and she's just like, here we are again. You have that feeling of that. Oh, here we are. It's come full circle. I don't even know what to do with that. I had the same feeling, and she was like, ugh.
I honestly tried not to, picture anything and just was going to be all in no matter what. So
then when I walked out, it fucked you up so bad that you don't know how to communicate now.
Yes. She just cuts to the chase. Yeah. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She's smart or something. She has the ability to see through the bullshit. It is a skill. When you're in a conflict or you're hearing a lot of, and it's just the two of them. So it'd be really hard to hold on to your sanity but she just cuts right to the chase. Okay, so you're telling me you didn't know what I looked like, and you didn't have a vision in your head of what I looked like. And so because I had makeup on, it fucked you up. So even though you think I'm pretty, but with makeup on, just because of makeup, it fucked you up so bad you don't know how to communicate. Is that what we're hearing? Is that what you're saying?
What?
So then when I walked out, it fucked you up so bad that you don't know how to communicate now.
Yes.
That's what
How is that a bad answer?
That's
the truth.
Answer.
That's the
Glad
fucking
you're being honest
to God truth.
Well, it's helpful that he is not confusing. I mean, it's confusing, but he's consistent, and he could have easily hemmed and hawed and said, no, that wasn't really it, even though that might have been what it really was. That is what I'm saying, that you came out with makeup, and so that fucked me up so bad that I couldn't communicate. Yes, that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth. That's what he keeps saying. So that's, I think, very helpful for Taylor to be able to know what she's dealing with. And to just continue the massive speculation about incel red pill brainwashing that he may or may not have been brainwashed by, that another part to this is that she might actually look like the evil, I think they call them Stacy's or something. Incels, red pill people, they call them something. Britneys or something. And there's a lot of, when you enter this world, and I have, because I've had clients in this world, and I have made some content about it and looked into it. And when you read the conversations, it's a whole language system that they have, actually. It's its own religion, if you will. And one of the elements of this religion and language is that they have this depiction of this woman who is the enemy, and it often is a conventionally attractive woman, someone who white, blonde, blue-eyed, attractive, maybe rich, has a rich dad or something, and fashionable and extroverted, and she's hot and she knows it, kind of a thing, and it's their Sauron, if you will. It is their Voldemort. It is their emperor. They see this woman everywhere, and where they see this woman, they identify that as, and they even insert whole stories about what's going on in their head, these women's heads, that they wake up in the morning, they're like, ha ha ha, I am going to manipulate all the men, and I'm going to take, and they're going to fawn all over me and pump up my ego, and maybe I'll go on a date with them, and I'll make them pay, and then I'll suck them dry, and I'll leave them, and they will be sad, but that's just who I am, and I have this privilege. They insert, no joke, I'm probably not going as far as they go with this kind of rhetoric. That's why I'm saying it's a religion, because it's just this, anyway, point is they have that notion. Not all of them, but it's a pretty big part of it. They also have a version of the chads, or the alpha males, or the jerks. They believe, like, oh, jerk guys, they always get the girl, so I need to be a jerk now. It's all just, and I've been friend zoned because I'm nice. It's really just the dumbest thing. Anyway, but propaganda and brainwashing, and they're desperate. The point is they're desperate, and then from their point of view, it makes sense anyway. So I wonder if for him, who knows, it's complete, massive speculation, but if he was a part of that or something similar, she comes out and he is just like, oh my God, she's a Stacy, Tiffany, Jennifer, or whatever the hell. And she's the enemy. And I don't want her to be that, or something. Maybe he heard in the pods, she's a kindergarten teacher, and the way that she talks, he didn't think she would be the enemy, that she would be Voldemort herself. This is a huge stretch, but I'm just trying to figure out why he would be this way. It's so bizarre. I can't think of a more bizarre thing that has happened on Love is Blind to date. This is bizarre. Usually with folks, I have something I'm like, well, right? This is bizarre. Now, I'm guessing a lot of people are like, no, Kirk. There are a lot of dudes like this. I've met a lot of dudes in Houston and Texas that are like this, and yeah, it's a problem. But yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, well, it's rare because but really, the incel red pill movement it's large. There's a lot of people. And the more I look into these cases, like with the Duggar family, IBLP, and Jody Hildebrandt and Ruby Franke, the more I am disheartened and demoralized about, because I know about these movements and I hear about them and I've studied them and I've had to deal with them as a content provider or as a therapist, but I always thought of them as being fairly fringe, and things like this are becoming less and less fringe, and that is demoralizing to me. That as we move forward in society, so many of us have progressed forward and are progressing forward and are more inclusive and are questioning the oppression and solving a lot of problems, fixing a lot of problems, making up for problems of the past, trying to evaluate our own oppression of others, our own privilege, and trying to evaluate all sorts of things like policing and military and tax spending and how we treat people who don't live in homes currently, and how we deal with addiction, the legalization of marijuana and psychedelics, that sort of thing. Just science and vaccines and cancer care and rockets and and satellites and smashing crafts into a asteroid to slow it down, to experiment with the orbits of objects that might come into contact with the Earth, and trying to save us all. All these advances in intelligence and research and just the glory of humanity, and then this sort of shit. It's just
just don't wear makeup.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Then you go ahead.
You're not gonna tell me what to do. And the whole makeup thing is just like so dumb.
I'm just telling you, you don't need it. I was like, this is not a real person.
Wow. Yeah. Again, if he had a preference, fine. But the things that he's saying, you're fake, you're not a real person, What are you talking about? You're drenched in flags constantly. Are you not a real person, or are you just a flag pole? We can make up all sorts of things, JP. We could say that your hair is fake because, you know, in reality, your hair would be long like hers. So you're not a real person. You messed with you have fake hair. You cut your hair. You're not a real human being. And she sees through it. So I'm so sorry she's going through this, but I'm glad that she very quickly sees through the bullshit. And meaning that I don't think she's taking it to heart. I think she's just like, this is stupid. And then he doubled down and said, like, just stop wearing makeup and everything will be fine. What are you talking about? Even if that were true, what? My love for you is completely gone if you wear makeup, but all totally there if you don't wear makeup. What are you talking about?
Very real.
But if you look like this, I would love it.
And then, of course, there's the massive misogyny that's possibly a factor, which I wouldn't be surprised that it's like, you as my woman are here to please me in all ways, including vision. And so you need to do and be and look exactly the way I want you to, and then I will accept you. Sorry, I'm done with this fucking conversation. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I were a birdie on Taylor's shoulder, if she could tolerate it, because he's elaborating it, it's helpful to hear him dig more of this grave. And so if for me, for my sake, I'd be like, just stick around. Maybe he'll ask him. So yeah, just casual, non-related question. What subreddits are you? What sort of YouTube channels do you watch a lot of?
Sorry. Done with that fucking conversation.
Good. Then wear makeup. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
So done with it.
How is that bad?
Because you didn't know what I looked like before.
But now I do. Then cover your face up. Cover all your beautiful face up. How is that bad? How is that so bad that I don't want you to wear makeup?
It's not bad if you have a preference and you share it and be like, hey, you know what? My preference is this. The same way that, you know, with Stacy, I don't know if I've shown this clip yet, but Stacy and Izzy were talking about their sex times, and Stacy was voicing her preference that she wanted to be thrown around a little bit more. And that was a preference. But to withhold conversation and love and to punish someone for 4 days because of makeup and not say anything about it is bizarre.
How is me saying that I like you better without makeup so bad? How is that so bad? 99% of women would love to hear that. And you hear that and you're like,
I don't know if, well, depends. But that's not what you're saying, JP. You're not saying you're beautiful without makeup. That's not what you're saying. What you're saying is, I saw you with makeup. You're not a real person. You're fake. And you made it so that I couldn't talk to you for 4 days. That's what you said. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone, please take care of yourself, truly, because you deserve it. You really, really do.